Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Oh, hi. Look at that's me live on YouTube. Want to come hang out, say hi, talk some fishing. What's going on, everybody? I'm hoping this is going to work with, I can't see any chat yet. So if somebody's in here, let me know. Maybe this isn't going to work with my internet. I'm not sure. I'll get somebody. Have you tried a Freedom Minnow Spoon? I have not. Fishing OD, what's going on? Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to message somebody, make sure my connection's okay. Can you hear me okay and whatnot? I'm up north, so I don't know how my connection will be. I know my camera's not the best on my laptop either, so I apologize for that, but thought we'd hang out a little bit. Got an hour to kind of chat, you know, talk some fishing. Been lake trout fishing the last few days. It's been good lately. Started off really slow, like really slow, but it got better. Hello, hello to everybody coming in. How's everybody doing on this fine? What is it anyway? Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday? I don't know. Red. It's always red. It's going great. Great to see you all. I don't have any beverages tonight. I'm just drinking water. Cindy, hey babe. Hope that's my girlfriend. That's Cindy Exner girl. What's up, Clayton? Love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. Plan on going fishing tomorrow. Hope you have a good day. It's Friday. Yes, Eric, I know it's red. I get it. Red. I'll never live that one down for calling a green lure red like 3 or 4 times. So silly. So silly. Dason, have you gotten your shirt yet from Teespring? That's bugging me. I meant to send you a message on Instagram, but I haven't. Packing for a fishing trip tomorrow. Nice. I'm sure everybody's going fishing, I hope, tomorrow. Like Saturday? Give her hard? Totally. I'm driving tomorrow. I won't even be fishing tomorrow. But I just did I think I was on the lake for shut my ringer off. I think I was on the lake for I don't even know 7 days straight. I think I fished for or something like that. So lots hooked on this channel. Appreciate you watching. Bait chartreuse ain't no use. We need some merch. I think if it ain't chartreuse ain't no use. So silly. Monday, one of my stepkids' dad has COVID. No. That's really sad. I know I got a little bit of grief being up here during COVID, but anybody that is like worried about it or whatnot, just let you know that I drove straight here and that's it. Like I'm in the room by myself, I'm fishing by myself, everything, all that stuff. So I'm not hurting anybody, I promise. I just drove straight here, brought all my own fuel, everything. So what's your favorite ice cleats? I've been using those, what are they, the corkers, I think they're called, or something like that. They've been pretty good. No shirts yet, Dason. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna give them a call when I get back. I think on Monday, Dason. I'll dig into that a little bit. If you can email me or Instagram me your order number, let me try to dig into that a little bit for you. I would be happy if you did. I'll look into that because that's not cool. Clayton, do you have a hard house? No, I don't have a hard house. I used to have an ice castle. I don't have a hard house because I like to move around lots. I like to fish different areas. I like to move around on the lakes different times. One day I'll have a hard house again where I just kind of kick back and relax, but I enjoy moving around lots. I love my otters. I do. This whole week I used nothing but the flip over. I fished so many different locations. It was awesome. It was awesome. What's the best step for lake trout? I'm gonna try and catch them tomorrow. It all depends lake to lake. I prefer that 60 to 75 feet, but it's all about putting yourself kind of near some type of structure where they'll be pushing bait and traveling traveling the contours and all that, like I said, and pushing bait up on top of the humps, whatever. Some kind of structure for sure would be your best. Chris, hey Clayton, where did you grab your ion battery adapter? And how's the fishing going so far this month? The fishing's turning around for me. It's really good. I got it straight from Ion, Chris, so I'm not sure where to get it, but it's pretty slick. I don't have it in the room with me. It's in my truck, but it's so slick. Chris is asking about this little adapter that goes on top of your Ion battery, and you can use it for whatever, like for the charge your GoPros, cameras, a bunch of stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. Wait, did Cindy pack you Jello shots? She did not pack me Jello shots. What's your favorite lake trout rod? Right now, it's the Mr. Big, the 43-inch heavy. I have another one coming from Frostbite too yet called the Slugger, and it's a 46-inch extra heavy. So I'll do kind of a review on that when I get it. Will you we'll watch later? Be safe out there. You be safe too, my friend. You're my hero. Better find some new people to watch. No, just kidding. Hey, I really want to know what's a good bait for lake trout. Hayden, I love a tube jig. I have another video coming out tomorrow where I talk about a couple different spoons that I really like as well. So, um, those spoons are obviously very good ones, but I'll have more in the next, I'd say in the next week and a half, I'll have 4 more lake trout videos coming out. So I'll watch all those videos for some lake trout lures and what I like to use. Cindy drank all the shots. Conscious Clay during COVID. Always gotta be conscious for sure. Ice fishing is the most COVID safe activity. I agree. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Just finally get all my gear to go ice camping, power box, tent, cot. That's awesome. Good for you, Steve. The camping on the ice thing is something that's really taken off. I just want everybody to be super, super safe. Like super safe out there. Get a CO detector. That's one of the biggest things for sure. You guys, if I miss your comments on here, just bring it up every once in a while. Don't spam it, but bring it up again. Gabriel says, "How do you get your aquaview to be clear of deep?" Honestly, Gabriel, that is going to be depending on your lake. For example, the lake I'm on right now, where I just fished it, I was fishing 60 feet and I couldn't see the bottom it was very dark. Put it that way. But I fish lakes that are nearby where I can see the bottom of 70 feet of water. So it really all depends on the lake. It really does. There's no great answer I can give you for that. Make your way over to Alberta one day and we can slay on an overnighter. That'd be awesome. What's the best way to use? I missed something there about Crooked Lake. What's the best hook to use on Crooked Lake for walleye? Um, I would say like a little buckshot spoon, or Carter really likes a hyper rattle. He tells me when he goes to Crooked, he uses a hyper rattle and a dinner bell. Hyper rattle on the True Grit and a dinner bell on the Smoke Show. So the medium sized dinner bell spoons and the smallest hyper rattles from Acme. They're both very good. Do you use Dakota Lithium on your boat? I do. I was using it. I wasn't using it for my trolling motors, but I will be next year. I was running it for all my electronics, but I do use it a little bit. Clayton, love the Laker videos. Thank you so much for watching. 8 or 10-inch auger. I prefer a 10-inch auger just because I target a lot of bigger fish. And I just love having that extra room in the hole to be able to turn them up the hole. I prefer a 10-inch auger for sure. Jay Siemens camp out in biggest fish challenge. It's very possible. Very, very possible. Targeting northerns while you're there. I didn't target any northerns this trip. All I did was a straight lake trout trip. I'm coming back though in March and April. Hi Grady. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you guys got your power back on out there. Love the dinner bell. It's so good. What are you doing up there around Big Walleye? I know you guys are crushing Big Walleye on Lake Winnipeg right now, and I'm up here. Maybe I'll have to come there in February. Matt, how do you determine what depth to target walleye? My local lake is 28 feet deep, and everyone targets them shallow. Why doesn't that apply to every lake? Matt, every lake it ends up being different. Honestly, the walleyes are going to be for the most part wherever the food is, wherever the bait is. Now, that being said, they're not going to eat a lot during the wintertime, but find the bait, find the fish. If you have the 28's the deepest part in that lake, but your bait is up shallower, maybe in some weed edges or stuff like that. I know a lot of weeds die in the wintertime, but you can still find some green stuff, and maybe that's got a little bit more oxygen and that'll bring the bait there. But the bait's going to go wherever the bait that the walleye are feeding on are going to be wherever the how should I say it? The insects are that the bait wants to feed on. It's all a big food chain, right? Find your like on Mille Lacs, they fish mud flats because of all the little insects and all that in the mud. So the bait comes to eat the insects, and the walleye come to eat the bait. It's all a giant food chain, right? You got to start somewhere, and if you can't find the bait, put yourself on a travel path where maybe the walleye are going from their deeper water to the shallow stuff where the bait could be. But find the bait, find the fish. Like if I get somewhere and I'm marking a bunch of bait, and if I don't catch fish, I'm going to come there the next day because there's a good chance the fish will come and be in that area the next day. And that's how it was on this last Laker trip. Was like as soon as I found out where a bunch of Cisco's were, that's where the lake trout ended up being. So it's all a giant food chain. You have to put together the puzzle. And the sad thing is that every day or every year or wherever, etc., it all changes. It's never, one spot is never going to always be the spot. The only time that might come into play where the spots are always going to be good at some point are a lot of rock humps and that kind of stuff because crayfish love to be in amongst all the rocks. So that's where they live all the time, the crayfish. So the walleyes will usually come back to there over and over again. But if you're on a lake that has no rocks and you're on just something where you're feeding off of, say, bait and Cisco's, it's a lot harder to kind of stay on that type of pattern. Sorry, I went on too long for that and missed everybody's questions there. So I apologize for any of that. Clayton Strikemaster versus Ion. They're both such a good auger. I got my first test with the Ion up north with a little bit more snow, even though it's not a pile of snow, and some good ice conditions, and then a little bit of slush too at times. And the Ion did pretty good. I was impressed. So far, I'm going to Ion just because it's so much lighter in that sense. It's pretty ideal. Another month, I think, and I'll be able to give you a perfect answer of what I would use for sure. But honestly, both augers are a great auger. Have you ever been to Keeley or Murray Lake in Saskatchewan? I have not been to either of those lakes, so I can't really help you out that much. I noticed you're not using a live scope. Are you waiting for the Humminbird Mega Live? I am waiting and ready for the Mega Live, like more than anything. Like more than anything. Not gonna lie, that was a long answer. I'm sorry, it was a long answer. I missed everybody else's questions in here. I catch any more suspended walleye. I did not catch any more suspended walleye. I also didn't spend a lot of time looking for them. I was super focused on the lake trout. I had a lot of suspended marks at times, but maybe I would have downsized. I could have caught them, but at the same point, I didn't want to catch the walleyes if they were in 40 feet. I'd feel bad about catching a 30-incher and risk it dying from barotrauma. An eater, it doesn't matter. I could care less, right? Because you're going to keep it. But I didn't catch any more. No. Want to camp on Crooked tomorrow, but don't know where to access. Just I received a message about 20 minutes ago that Crooked Lake had a bunch of open areas today, and they were pulling shacks, and there was a big gong show. So be super careful at Crooked Lake right now. Should I get dinner bells for walleye? That is a hard yes. Dinner bells are unbelievable for walleye. I've been loving it. Question: do you like using a swivel or tie your lines together? I think a little barrel swivel is probably the best answer just to take away any of your line twists that you might have. I have tied my lines in the past as well, and it's worked for me, but I think I prefer a small barrel swivel more than anything. Any tips for catching perch? Lots of moving. At this time of year, those schools are going to move around, and it's hard to stay in one spot and pound perch all day. Every lake's going to be different, though. Obviously, you're going to find lakes again where maybe you can stay in one spot all day, but lots of moving. They're going to be coming up on big mud feeding flats. Remember those I just talked about earlier, the insects and the small bait fish. The perch will follow that. So big mud feeding flats. I'm going to be doing stuff at Lake of the Prairies probably in February sometime and spend some time with the 360 Mega 360, I think it's called, and try to find some perch. Tips for walleye on a bad lake: go to a better lake. That'd be my best tip for that one. I can't give you too much more on that. What's up, Clayton? I love your overnight videos. Would you consider doing an overnight for Lakers? Yes, I'm going to be doing an overnight for Lakers at some point this year. I'm thinking sometime in March. Burbot trip soon. Yes, Burbot are coming up, but probably again later when it comes to March during their spawn time because I'd like to fish them shallower and do some underwater footage with them. Clayton for president, prime minister. Yeah, let's do it. Yo, what's up, Clayton? I love your content. Keep it up. I really appreciate you watching. Are there any good drive to Lake Trout Lakes in Saskatchewan? Cold Lake is on fire this year. Lac La Plonge and Lac Larange. Larange is making a comeback. And I might have spent some time on there too last year. It was pretty good. Larange. Hot tip. NHL team. I used to be a New Jersey Devils fan back in the day. I don't have a team anymore. I was a goaltender. I played a little bit of the Manitoba Junior Hockey League for the Walleyes Capo Wolverines. I was a big Brodeur fan. That's going back though already like 18 years. So I don't really have any NHL teams anymore that I watch. Honestly, I hardly ever turn the TV on anymore. It's crazy. Love the Jay vs. Clay content. I appreciate you watching that. We're probably going to do something this winter yet. This Milesh Fishing Outdoors says hi. 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 I want to be in your cabinet when you're prime minister. Yeah. Heck yeah. Hello from Colorado. Hello, hello, hello. Can you please do a shout out to Brian or AKA Bruno? It is his birthday. Well, happy birthday, Bruno. Best Laker tube jig size. I like the 6-inch myself. What is the best ice fishing bait? Oh boy. Honestly, it's a classic. If you can only fish with one thing the whole year, you'd have to go with the old jig and a minnow. Clayton, what's your PB walleye? I caught a 14.53 pound last season. It's my PB. Unbelievable. That's giant. A 13.56 pound, 32 and a half is my personal best walleye. My man Clay saw you were live streaming. How to tune in? Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. When does the walleye season end up there? In Saskatchewan, March 31st. The lakes will close. The northern zone will be April 15th, and then in Manitoba, the northern zones go to April 31st, and the southern zone I think is April 1st or 2nd or something like that. White glow or chartreuse glow on tube jigs. Ain't chartreuse, ain't no use. Where are you traveling to next? Ontario? No, I am not. I'm headed back home to finish some editing and get my life back in order here, and then we'll see. I'm not too sure. I'm not doing anything where I can't drive straight to it with my own fuel and all that, and kind of stay away from everybody and just do my own things. So I'll be very careful from where I'm going. Any interest in catching a sturgeon in BC? Max, cool story for you. And I actually should do a video on this sometime. Myself, Jay Siemens, and a friend, Maddie Getzlaff, went to the Fraser River one year. And we fished there for 10 days and on our own little tiller boat, actually Jay's tiller boat. And we caught a bunch of a sturgeon, and it got better and better as we went. I think we ended up in the 10 days we caught 175 sturgeon. It was unbelievable. The biggest one we caught, I think it was like 94 inches or something like that. It was awesome. Meet you at Cold Lake. Yes, Cold Lake is on right now, I heard. What's your PB? Crappie? I've never caught a crappie. Never, ever, ever. Never. Is it worth getting a flasher? I have a depth map of my lake and an underwater camera, so I can't decide if I need one. I will not fish without a flasher. I love my flasher. So yes, it is easily the best thing to have for ice fishing. So you're a Jets fans So you're a Jets fan, but don't want to alienate other provinces' state smart. No, I can't say I'm an anything fan. I really can't. For Lakers, what's better tip-up bait, Cisco or smelt? Should the tip-up be set on the bottom? Matt, I don't fish with a lot of baits for Lakers in terms of like a dead bait. A Cisco is probably your best bet because it's usually there's Cisco's in most of the lakes where the Lakers are. And I think setting it on the bottom is probably a great thing to do. Lakers, especially the big silver boys, they like to cruise the bottom heavily, and you can't go wrong with setting up your bait on the bottom. You really can't. Hello from Nebraska. Hello, hello. You should come fish Lake Champlain. I can't pronounce that right. And slam some smallies. I would love that sometime. I would love to do a bunch of smalley fishing. Hey Clayton, huge fan. Ontario, thanks for what you're doing. Just getting out on the lakes here in Southern Ontario. Well, be safe out there and have fun. Have fun out there, but be safe. What kind of charger do you use your lithium batteries on your boat? I use the Hummingbird. Is it called a smart charger? It does, and it's capable of charging the lithium batteries. I checked with the Dakota guy. I'd have to look, but it's a Hummingbird charger. Hey man, I'm trying to catch a walleye. Should I use a rattle reel? If you're fishing at night, I would probably use a rattle reel for sure. It would definitely help. You would feel it for sure. Eskimo or otter both make good products. I've been using my otters for a couple years now, and I'm very happy with them. So I don't plan on switching anytime soon. The product's been very good for me. PB Tiger Trout. It's in one of my videos. I think it was a 25 incher. Pretty sure my PB Tiger Trout's 25 inches. It's in a video from like 3 winters ago already. Sight fishing for it. How do I get frostbite lures in Ontario without paying US dollars? I don't think there is a way. I really don't. Do you think the Humminbird 360 will be better than the Panoptix Live Scope? Have you used the Live Scope? I have used the Live Scope a little bit. I believe myself that I personally believe that the Mega Live is going to be awesome. I really do. I haven't seen it, so I can't vouch for it. I can't do anything. I just have a lot of faith in it, and I'm really looking forward to it. You talked about using a needle when you catch a walleye deep to help with barotrauma. What is that about? It's called fizzing a fish, and there's a way that you can release their air bladder, but you shouldn't do it unless you have to. And the only time I ever do that is when I catch a fish that is suffering from barotrauma. I don't go target them in deeper water and then like release every or fizz every fish, right? There's better options such as using a barotrauma device, and I might talk about that in a future video, something like that. So you just have to be super careful with that, but that's not something I really teach people. The best thing you can do if you caught a walleye that is suffering from barotrauma is just to keep it for the most part and eat it. Now, do whatever you can to try to release it if it's a bigger one, but most of the time they're going to die if their air bladder, especially if it comes out of their mouth at all. What depths would you be fishing for walleye at night? I would try really shallow. I personally believe that the walleyes go shallow at night, but I don't know for sure. I really don't. But I would like 15 feet or less, I'm thinking. But don't quote me on that. Like if you if you struggle with it. But I have a feeling they push the minnows up shallower at night in the bait fish. So it's just a theory. You can smell it, Aquaview hat. You can't. This one's a freshie. This is a new one this year. So this one does not smell at all. Zero. Quad or skidoo on the ice? I love having a sled on the ice more than anything for sure. Now, if you're going to have no snow at all, then yes, you would want some kind of a quad or something like that for sure. Last mountain sucked big time today. I heard it's been on a tough bite, Brett. Hopefully you get on them again. Brett's been slamming some monsters out there. Keep up the amazing content, Clay. Stoked on these live chats. I appreciate you tuning in and watching them. It's fun to hang out with everybody and just chat a little bit, right? Answer some questions. Just remember that anything I say is always just an opinion or something that I do that works for me. It's not always the right way or the best way. There's so many ways to do different things. No, Ben, there's no giveaway uh, tonight on this one, but my next live chat, I will put some kind of giveaway together for sure. The best snack to take out on ice fishing when you get hungry. Jerky's really good. Cheese sticks are really good, I find. Nutrient bars I like. Pretty boring, I know, but I got two videos coming up here in a little bit where I do some cooking in the shack. One with a fresh walleye I cook up, not fresh, I guess I caught it the day before. And then I cook some soup in a shack and some smokies and stuff like that. So I'll talk a little bit more in some future videos coming up here soon, what I do for lunches when I'm out there. Wish I could get on the fish like you do. Great videos, brother. Love them. Thank you so much for watching. To be honest with you, the fish that I catch just comes from putting in a lot of time on the lake. That's all it is. There's a lot of I show some of my bad days, but I have a lot of bad days that I don't show as well. Just because there's just too much. Because instead of editing every bad video, I'd like to try to just get back out there and do something again. Will you do musky content this summer? Max, I'm hoping to be up guiding this summer. If there isn't any guiding, I'll try to do some musky for sure. Do you believe the larger whole site fishing for rainbow tiger trout deters the bigger ones? Caught lots of smaller ones. Yeah, I think it could a little bit. They're very smart, right? They're very weary. I think honestly, if you're going to catch the biggest ones, it's probably not going to be from sight fishing, to be honest. Excuse me, it's just so much fun to watch them, though. I'm jealous of the size of the walleye. Wisconsin walleyes are little smaller. I'm sure there's some big ones out there. I'm sure. I just got in from fishing. I hope it was good. Ever have issues with those foam puzzle mats freezing to the ice when you're done for the day? No, I haven't. If you went somewhere overnight though, and you came back the next day, they would freeze to the ice. But as long as your shack is warm, I've never had them freeze to the ice. Do you believe in the morning bite? I do. That being said, the fish are going to bite when they want to. It seems like for the most part. Cheers from Thailand. Cheers. That is awesome. What is the average time you spend on a lake before you call it a day? Usually, Cody, when I fish, it's sun up to sundown. To be honest, like 8 hours is like a minimal day. Does sleeping with a buddy heater freak you out? No, it doesn't. I have my vents cracked. I have a door open a little bit. I'm very careful with that. CO should make you nervous, and it's always something to pay close attention to. A CO detector would be very good. What do you have against panfish? I have nothing against panfish. Nothing at all. I've never said that. I love panfish. I just don't fish very much. Why no booze on the ice while camping? Is it a sponsorship YouTube thing? No, it's a safety thing, especially if I'm by myself and I run into a situation. I don't want to have booze being an issue where it could affect any of my decision making. I don't drink a lot when I fish. When I drink with you guys on the live chats, that's probably the most I drink, to be honest with you. I don't do it on the ice because it's a pure safety thing. I'm not stopping other people from doing it or saying anything. You just got to be very, very careful for sure, because things can happen so quick, and you want to be always the most mentally ready to do something or act. So, and it is actually illegal in Canada too, to be honest with you, to drink on the ice. It actually is. What's your best tip for burbot? What kind of bottom composition and best bait? Burbot, some kind of a sandier bottom. Pound the bottom lots. Like, get a bigger spoon and like lift up, pound the bottom, lift up, pound the bottom, and just like little pounds, not big rips, just like pound, pound, pound. And if it's legal where you are, do a lot of chumming too. Old minnows, like all your minnow tubs, at the end of the day, dump it down the hole and come back there. A lot of times those burbot will find that and they'll come back over and over again. Chum a little bit if it's legal in wherever you're from. It's worth to mention that is CO, carbon monoxide, that you need to worry about. I know. Sorry. Yes. Carbon monoxide. Yes, you're right. Do you like the free fall style of reels? No, I really don't like them, but to be honest with you, I haven't used them a lot. It just doesn't really, I think if I pan fished more, like bluegill, crappie, that thing, I think they'd be good. They just don't really play into effect for anything that I do. So that's kind of why I've never used them at all. You're welcome for the tips on the burbot. You're very welcome. What is the biggest mistake you ever made on the ice? That's a great question. I don't know. Probably the biggest mistake I've made. I honestly don't know. I have to think about that. I can't, nothing comes to the top of my head. I don't. Is the price of a live scope worth it, or should I stick with my flasher? I think the live scope's a very good tool. I think the Mega Live that's coming out is going to be just as good or better, though. I'm looking forward to see that. But it's just another tool in your box. It's not going to catch you more fish. It might help you learn more about certain things, but it doesn't mean it's going to catch you more fish, if that makes sense. What's a better investment? A camera or a flasher? A flasher for sure. Unless you were like always gonna just fish nothing but in a some kind of like hard shack all the time and you weren't gonna move around ever, then a camera. If you're fishing for lake trout though, a flasher because they always seem to be in the middle of the water column too. It's crazy. Where do you recommend booking to hooking? I'm guessing you want to say hooking a minnow on a live minnow rod. I like hooking a minnow just behind their top fin at the back, so kind of so they can still swim around and move a little bit. That's what I prefer to do it. No ice wheel again this video. Will Lakers eat perch strips? Like, do you cut the bait of your jigs? I don't know. I'm sure they would. Lakers seems like they'll eat anything. Anything. Do you get caught out in whiteouts very often? Yeah, I've been in some whiteouts. I use my Humminbird Helix 7 though on my sled. But definitely whiteouts are an issue. GPS is a great thing to have. Is Humminbird coming out with a version? Yes, they are. They're coming out with something called Mega Live. Best spot to fish, Lake of the Prairies. Anywhere off the old river channel. That's on it. The whole lake can be good, and different parts of the lake or different areas are going to be good one day, and then a different area will be better the next day. It's really hard to give you an exact spot. Come fish Diefenbaker for some big rainbows with me, Clayton. I'll get you on them. I heard there's a bunch of rainbows going. I'd like to do that this year yet. I would. You ever try Lake Manitoba? I have not fished Lake Manitoba yet. I have not. What happened to Aaron? He's gone MIA. He'll be back, and you know Aaron. He'll come back with something bigger and better, like he always does, right? Have you used Northland artificial minnow head for dead sticking? I have not actually used it. I haven't. I'd be interested to see what it's like. How long is the ice road? How long is the ice road, and who maintains it? I don't know where that question comes from. Have you fished in the States? I've done a little bit of fishing in the States. I used to go to Florida in the winter times and fish the Keys a lot. And then I fished Texas for some bass fishing as well. Is a snowmobile a must for northern Canada ice fishing? Yeah, I would say so. And especially if you're like where I'm in northern Manitoba right now, you have to have a sled to get out pretty much anywhere. Like guys were getting around with trucks a few days ago, but now with some more snow, it'll be really tough. A sled is a must. Rods, burnt versus medallion. What's the difference? What do you use? I use both the burnt series and the medallion series. The medallion series has titanium guides on them, and that's pretty much the biggest difference between the two. So it makes it a little bit lighter, and you can kind of flick all the ice off the guides. They're both very good though. I have both of them, the burnt series and the medallion series. Best baits for late season clear water walleye. Small, probably for the most part, until you get like really late, and then the old jig and a minnow and some type of flutter spoon and a rattle bait. Just really downsize your fluorocarbon liters in that, and in clear water, like in super clear water, I run 6, sometimes even 4 pound fluorocarbon liters. They can get line shy. You have to be super careful with that. And when it's in clear water, they can really see it. 26 Lakers in one sitting, Justin Jenkins versus Clay. I haven't watched that video yet. He sent me a weird question though about something about how big do I think this lake trout was, and I told him, and he didn't say anything after, so I don't know what's coming here or whatever. So I have to watch that video. I plan on doing it tonight. Yet I've been editing the next video that should have out tomorrow. So I'll have to watch it. Justin Jenkins and slamming Lakers though. If Frostbite asks your opinion, the guides need to be touched bigger so they can swivel. Okay, good to know. I'll pass that on for sure. Leaving in a week to fish northern Minnesota for Lakers and walleye. What tips would you give me? Um, don't forget any of your gear. Honestly, my biggest tip I can give you, just go with the full mindset of wanting to learn new stuff and have a good time. The fish will come. You cannot always control the fishing. Trust me. You can if you only go somewhere for a few days, you're either going to hit it good or you're going to hit it on a sour time of the day. So be very, very careful. Justin talks about you in his video. Oh, does he? Okay. Carter was watching it tonight. I'll have to look into that. Sask versus Manitoba, which do you ice fish more? I ice fish Manitoba more for sure. I live almost right on the border, so I happen to fish a lot of Manitoba stuff. My biggest muskie is a 47 incher. You were the man? I doubt that. I'm a man though, for sure, but I don't know if I'm the man. When are we going to see Bubba Ray fishing episode? Bubba Ray might have to make an appearance fishing at some point. Is that your biggest mistake on the ice, forgetting your flasher? Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, here's my biggest mistake. And it's kind of sad too. I'll answer this question first from Pete. Goose, Boot, or Tommy? Pick a lake for me. Um, Goose. Goose Lake. That's the lake I'm picking for you, Pete. Okay. The biggest mistake I've made while ice fishing. I have my answer for it for you. I had a sad day. I had just put down my beloved Chocolate Lab Dessa, and the next day I decided to go ice fishing just to clear my head and do whatever. It was my first trip out that year, and I got all the way to the lake, Twin Lake, in Manitoba. It's about an hour and a half from where I live, and I got out there and I dragged all my stuff out. Of course, it's early season, so you're walking out there. I got my shack set up. I drilled my holes. I got the camera set up, and I went to go get my rods. And I realized at that moment that I left them in the garage. I packed everything up and I went home. That's the biggest mistake I've made. It was so fitting for the whole couple days what was going. So ups and downs, right? I look back now and I can laugh about it, but I'll never forget getting back in service and texting Cindy, and she's like, "How come you're texting me? You usually don't have service." I'm like, "I'm coming home. I forgot my rods." Yeah, it's the way it is. Have you ever had your tent blow away from you? I have not. I have not. I have not. I've been very careful with that. First trips are always a learning curve. Yes, totally. What shack do you use? I have a couple different otter shacks. Lately I've been using the Otter Resort, the Vortex Hub, and then the flip over the X over Lodge Pro, I believe it's called. I just have a brain fart on the exact name, but it's the one with the swivel seats and the Lodge flip over side doors, the X over. We need a sea bass versus clay walleye ice camping challenge. 24 hours. I will get my cheeks clapped. Yeah, you're on a pretty good bite out there, aren't you? Sea bass for some big walleyes overnight. Well, you caught some nice ones. I haven't got to watch all your videos lately, but I'll have to take a look and see what you've caught there for sure. A guy beside you felt bad for you and offered his rods. Yes, somebody did offer me his rods to fish with, but at that point I just wanted to go home. My uncle just died. I'm so sorry to hear that, Joseph. So sorry to hear that. Tell Aaron to post a video. I will. Everyone's been catching them but me. I know how that goes. Otter or clam? I prefer otter for sure. What's the best way to catch walleyes? Just get out there and fish. Honestly, get out there and fish a pile. The more time on the ice, the more time, the better chance you're going to have of crossing paths with walleye. Just get out there and try new things and just experiment and learn. Those are things you'll never. Somebody can point you in a direction and you can catch fish, but the days that you go and you figure it out on your own, those are the days where you learn something and it's going to be beneficial to you going forward. I always tell people, the whole saying, like, give a man a fish, feed them for a day, teach a man to fish, feed them for life. I always say teach a man to fish, or teach a man to fish. How's it go again? Take a man to fish, teach a man to fish, whatever it is. Teach a man to fish, and he'll fish your fishing spot. Sometimes I'll throw in a swear there too. But Justin Jenkins buying a CSO toque. He has to buy a CSO toque. That's interesting. Now I got to go watch that video. I have to go watch that video. Happy birthday. No happy birthday. I must have missed something. Happy birthday, Gavin. Hello, buddy. Hello to you. Jason. Hello, hello. Otter or Fraybell. I, again, prefer my otter for sure. Jig and a minute. Yes, love the jig and a minutes. Any idea who currently owns Frostbite, Perch, Mav, Sobe, or not anymore? Perch is, I don't know if he's a full owner or if he is part owner with somebody, but Perch has probably the biggest shares in it for sure. Just purchased the Frostbite medium, 38 medium. What do you recommend best reel for that rod? I have on my, that's obviously the True Grit. I have on mine a Stratic 1000 and I love it. Cabins at Caribou. I'm actually in one of the motel rooms right now. In the winter, they have 2 kitchenettes and some motel rooms, and they're great. Like hot water, place to sleep. The kitchenettes have everything set up to cook in. They're wonderful. And in the summertime, he has cabins there as well. We're actually going to be running a deal. I'm going to help him with something I haven't going to make a promotional video of it, but the first 2 weeks in March, if you call up Norm and book something for the first 2 weeks of March, you'll get 15% off if you mention my name. So, yeah. Just wanted to say thank you for your videos. They're awesome. Keep it up. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Again, I'll bring it up again, you guys. If I missed comments earlier and you want to bring it up again so I can maybe see it, don't hesitate to bring it up again. I apologize. I can't get to everybody's questions. They go through here so fast. I always see the super chats and answer those for sure, but don't feel like you have to obviously do any super chat. Just bring your questions up and I'll get to it at some point for sure. Keep doing the good work, bro. I love watching your stuff. Thank you very much, Seabass. Hope you're doing well out there. Keep crushing. I know the grind. It's hard. Have you fished Lake the Prairies lately? Heading up tomorrow for the day, hoping for a good day, but who knows? I haven't fished Lake the Prairies for over 2 weeks now, so I'm not sure what's happening at all. Take a drink. Okay, I'll have a drink of my water for sure. That's all I'm drinking tonight is water. It's got ice in it. Cold water is good. Biggest Laker I've ever caught is a 48-incher, and that was during open water. Probably very close to that 50-pound mark. What line do you like when chasing trophy walleye? The line I've really been using the last couple of years, I keep going back to it over and over again. I've tried other stuff, is P-Line Halo. It's easily been my best line. Now, there's a lot of other good stuff out there, but P-Line Halo, 100% fluorocarbon, that stuff has been very, very good to me. Went out to Lewis Creek on last mount and only got one on the perch. Any suggestions to get into walleye in the lake? Jesse, right now, I heard the walleye bite's been very, very slow there. So I can't really help you with that one. I wish I could give you more info, but I heard the walleye fishing's been tough there right now. Do you own a wheelhouse? No, I do not own a wheelhouse. How often do you, Jane, hang out, fish without filming? Right now, we haven't hung out really for over a year already because the whole COVID situation. So it's been a while since we do that. We used to fish a lot together and go on some awesome trips. Like we used to go down to Texas. We used to go down to the Florida Keys. We used to go down to BC and do the sturgeon thing. So lately, though, since we both started filming, we haven't had a lot more time to fish together without filming. But also at the same point, the whole COVID thing has really slowed us down too. You have to make Not Gonna Lie merch. Not Gonna Lie merch, and if ain't chartreuse, ain't no use. Those are my 2 things I want to do right now. Finally caught you live. Well, welcome. We're live for another 17 minutes, probably yet. Probably spend about an hour here. Clayton, I cannot figure out the pike during this time of year. Are they shallow, deep? They're most likely a little bit deeper, to be honest. They're probably not up in their spawning areas yet. And then another, like, say, month, maybe even a couple weeks-ish, they're going to start to move up a little bit shallower. Transition lines, stuff that they're going to be cruising. Like on Lake of the Prairies, for example, like a setup off of the old river channel with some baits down
in like 16 feet of water, but put your baits like say 10 feet down or something like that, right? Pike will come up a couple feet for sure. So you have to be really, you have to think outside of the box right now at this time of year. Pike can be a little bit tougher to catch, whereas later in the season you can possibly catch them more in the shallowers and the spring bays and the mud bays and stuff like that. So why Humminbird over Vexlar? I just have used my Humminbird for a long time and I really like it. I think the biggest reason though why I use it is for my all I can use all my auto charting stuff on there, and as well as having been able to use a GPS spots and mark stuff. So I prefer that for sure over anything. Best reel for the Frostbite Slugger rod. I'm going to put on a 3000 Stratic on that, Lucas, because I'm going to be using that for bigger lake trout. So that will be my go-to as a 3000 Stratic on there. Water is lame. Yes, Wade, I'm sure you're probably having a beer right now. French River, Ontario. What up, Clayton? Been killing it, and you have been a big part of it. Well, I really appreciate you watching the videos there, Christian. I'm glad you're killing it out there. Keep killing it. When are you starting an all chartreuse CSO bait series and a CSO virtual subscriber tournament? I'd like to do something with the whole subscriber thing, but I'm really steering away from the whole tournament thing, especially in the winter, just because the time out of the water with the fish, and it's gonna be so hard on them during the ice fishing season. And I've been trying to figure out where there's a way to do it for sure. Clayton, I'm at Caribou. What room are you in? I'm in room 8. I'm in room 8. I'm on the ice right now fishing for walleyes, and I just caught a jumbo perch on my dead stick. It's 2 hours after dark. That is awesome. Wow. Living on the lake. I love it. I love everybody spending time out in the lake, winter camping. Just be very, very careful. Clayton, be the first person to ice fish Great Bear Lake. Oh man, that would be impossible, I feel like. Favorite fishing movie? Is there really any good fishing movies? Grumpy Old Men would probably be one. I need to watch Grumpy Old Man again. It's been probably a good 15 years since I've watched it, so I really need to watch that again. What's up, bro? I'm from Michigan as well, heading out in the morning to smash some crappie. Well, good luck out there. Good luck. Live scope worth it? I believe it's a great tool to have. Is it going to catch you more fish though? Probably not, but it's if you have the extra money to spend on something like that, for sure it's worth it. But if you might want to wait to see what the Mega Live's all about too when it's coming out, because it's probably going to be pretty good. What's up with Uncut Angling? Who's Uncut Angling? I'm not sure who that guy is. Web J, thank you so much. You didn't even leave a question or anything. I appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Like I said earlier, I know you were thinking about going out to Crooked, so if you are, just be very careful there tomorrow. Do a fishing, do a video fishing with the Green Hornet. What's the best size dinner bell for catching eater walleye? The medium sized dinner bell for sure. The medium sized dinner bell is very good. A river runs through it. There you go. That's a very good movie. Very good. Clayton, PB Pike, summer and ice fishing. PB Pike in the summer is a 47 incher, and ice fishing, I think it's a 46. I believe so. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Michigan as well. And what's up with Uncut? I'm not sure. I'm really not. Just order some dinner bells. Awesome. May I have a decal with my hoodie for my truck? Yeah, did you order a hoodie? Did I? Yes. If you ordered a hoodie, I will put a decal in there for sure. No problem. You betcha. Just send me a message on Instagram. Right. I'm sorry. You're the hoodie I'm replacing. Yes, when they come. Yes, I'm sorry, WebJ. I forgot. I having your name not different on there. I forget. I'll throw a decal in with that hoodie for sure. No problem. I'm hoping you're able to give that other hoodie away. I saw you had a post there. So let me know if you're able to give it away. That's pretty cool. And the other hoodies should be here soon. I was told they were supposed to be shipped on the 10th or the 11th. So I'll be back in stock with the primetime hoodies, the small, the medium, and the large. Clayton, is the upgrade from a Helix Gen 1 to a Gen 3 worth it? I think so personally. I really, especially if you're going to start using like the Mega stuff, the Mega imaging and the Mega Live, it's pretty good. I'm using, what do I have now? Two Gen 3s, I think. and definitely a lot clearer image. Not that the Gen 1 isn't clear, it's just a little bit better, it feels like. Favorite fish to catch? Tarpon. Tarpon is my favorite fish to catch for sure. Lakers or walleye? Favorite winter species? Walleye early, Lakers later. I have a hard time finding to fish weekends mostly, so I envy you and Jay and others. Keep up the good work. We really appreciate watching the videos, and I totally understand how it can be hard to always find time to fish. Life gets in the way with everything, so we appreciate you watching our videos for sure. Should have another one coming out tomorrow night. Bring a subscriber fishing giveaway. At some point when the whole COVID thing slows down, we'll do something like that for sure. Matthew Hawes, hope fishing's better there. Lake of the Prairies has been trash this year. I've had some good luck at Lake of the Prairies this year so far. But you have to move around lots, it felt like, though. That just like some places were really good, some places were really tough. Need to go Laker fishing. Grew up with Matt Weaver. Love watching him as well. Matt's a good dude. That's awesome. You should really go out with him to Cold Lake. He slams a bunch of fish out there. Can you catch walleye with spinners from the bank? No ice here yet. I'll try to do some more bank fishing this year. I just love spending time on my boat though, because I love mapping and spending time out on the lake doing that. But I'd like to do some more short videos for sure. Any tricks or hacks keeping warm on the ice? It's all about proper layering and clothing. A striker suit where you can block all the wind and put your hood up. It's so amazing. And good boots, good socks. Those are probably some of the biggest tips right there. Put Jaden's ice castles to a 1v1. That would be deadly. It would be deadly. Oh man, in an ice castle. I don't know how Jay stayed awake for 24 hours. That was insane. He probably had naps. He just didn't show it. I'm just kidding. What's the burbot? What's the best way to find those ugly suckers? Chum a little bit of areas if you can, and then a lot of times they'll come up to like humps at the end of the night or structure like that. So like that 3:30 on type of thing is when the bite can get a lot better for the burbot. You don't catch a lot of burbot during the day. They're more of a nocturnal feeder, like that 3:30 to like sometimes 11 midnight, all night even is very possible. So Clayton, can you buy the Aquaview tripod thing by itself? Yes, you can. You buy it by yourself. It's called the Mopod, I believe, the Aquaview Mopod. I hope I'm saying that right. Does most of your success from being mobile on the ice? Yeah, being mobile is a huge thing for sure. I think being able to move around lots is definitely plays a factor to catching fish consistently. How is your GoPro mounted on your hat? It I don't I'll show that sometime, but I have a little tripod mount that I screwed through the hat and I connected it through that. It works the best. The only thing is my neck gets sore after sometimes your hat like it weighs down on your brim all day. But I found that as like one of the best ways to do it. I'm pretty sure I stole that from Aaron. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Have you ever ice fished? Have you ever fished Nipissing? I think I fished it once in the Aaron and I did a pike tournament out there one time, I think. Live scope or flasher for starter? Definitely a flasher. Definitely. What can I use for chum? Your old minnows at the end of the day. Throw your old minnows down the hole. That's probably one of the best things to use. I have to delete that comment. You're pretty mean, Jason. You're out of here. You're done. You're done. Done, son. You're gonna be mean here. I'm just gonna remove you. Have you fished Lake Dauphin? I've never fished Lake Dauphin. I have not. What are you drinking tonight? Tonight's just water, Mike. I'm on a trip and I didn't bring any booze with me. I don't drink a lot on trips like this just because I try to focus mostly on fishing. And I try to drink more water because I don't drink enough water on the ice. As you can see, look, it's all frozen. I should have had that on the ice and I didn't. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. What do you do for 12-volt batteries to run all day long? I use a lot of batteries. I bring a lot of batteries. And that's why we love Clayton. Keep those negative comments out of here. Yeah, it's all being positive. Like people got to be. I don't understand the whole negativity with people. Like they must. Like, is it their life that hard where they just have to go off on other people? Like on Facebook, if you don't like something, just keep moving. Unless it's something ethically wrong that you need to maybe say something about. Any advice on getting a first ice shack? I know a standard pullover is about the same price as a top-notch pop-up. Also, you should fish South Dakota. The hubs are going to be a little bit cheaper for sure than the standard pullovers are, I would say. Um, I would start with a hub. I always say if I could only have one shelter and one shelter only, I would have a resort otter hub. Now, that being said, if I was going to be up north here and I lived up here all the time and I had a snowmobile, I would probably own a flip over to be super mobile. But so let's see this. So here's my advice for buying your first shelter. If you're going to fish out of a shack lots, or sorry, out of a truck lots, and you can haul it around in that aspect, and you don't have something to pull it on the ice with like a snowmobile or a quad, definitely get a hub. If you have something where you're going to use a snowmobile or a quad lots, then get a flip over. I hope that kind of helps for the most part. There's a couple just negative Nazis in here today. Best line to use outside. I run fluorocarbon leaders outside pretty much the whole time. Leaders for a fluorocarbon line. Mono would be good too. A power pole braided line is good as well. Just even the Power Pro ice line, eventually the wax coating wears off and you are going to have icing issues. I love like a fluorocarbon line where you can kind of slide your ice down it, but everything eventually freezes up outside. I prefer to fish inside a shelter more than anything. It is the best. It is the best. How long leaders do you run? I usually run at least a 2-foot leader for the most part. During lake trout fishing, though, I'll try to run a leader that's at least as long as deep as the ice, and that's for the fact that when the swivel comes up, I know that that fish is close to the end of the ice, so I don't have to. You don't horse them anymore, right? And you're really cautious, careful with them. That's what I'm talking. Like the ice is like 3 foot long, 3 foot deep. I'll use like a 4-foot leader. Even when you're walleye fishing too, if you did that, right, make your fluorocarbon leader as long as the thickness of your ice. That way you can gauge when the fish is getting close to the bottom of the hole, if that makes sense. Best ice fishing YouTube watch right here. Thank you very much, Carson. Appreciate you watching the videos. I don't understand how someone can enjoy this. People are just people. It's all good. It's all good. I don't blame them for being mean. Maybe they have super issues going on, right? It's all good. How many ice fishing rods do you own? I think 3. No, I don't know. A few. A few. Okay, I'll answer this question quick, but not because you're spamming it. Stop spamming. What's the best water camera for under 400? Probably the AquaView 715C, I think it's called. That's probably going to be your best one, your best bang for your buck for sure. Now you can stop. Now you can stop spamming that. What video edit software? I use the Adobe Premiere Pro. It's been really good for me, like really good. Is a 4000 series real overkill for rainbows ice fishing? Probably a little bit overkill for rainbows. It wouldn't be so much for big lake trout. I've used it in the past, but it's probably a little overkill for rainbows. But if that being said, and it's your only reel that you have right now, don't feel like you shouldn't be using it, right? Like it's something that I always tell some of my friends, like that always wants to buy more gear, more gear. I'm like, master what you have first and then branch out from there. If that makes sense. What is the best chum? Honestly, Cisco's are really good. Anything that's legal to use is really good. You don't have to get crazy in the sense of using you don't have to go to the store and buy all this chum. Suckers are always really good too. First, make sure it's legal in the area that you're doing it though. Yeah, anything that's in the lake, Cisco's. I'm gonna stop saying um. Thanks for all the videos. They help me get through the week. Then I have new new ideas to try in the weekend. Oh, that's awesome. It's all about doing new things, right? It's all about doing new things. I'm not answering any more questions that keep spamming it all the time. I'm going to purposely avoid those from now on. You can bring them up every so often. Once your question scrolls out of the screen, you can bring it up again, but Anybody that spams, I'm gonna purposely ignore those videos, those questions. I mean, Clayton, love the videos and tips you give everyone. I watched all your videos and have put a lot of fish on the ice this year using your tips. Keep up the awesome work. Love from Minnesota. Really appreciate you watching the videos. Vanessa B, hiya. Hiya, hiya, hiya. I think you asked how Caribou was earlier. I think I saw it, but I didn't answer it. Caribou is wonderful. I'm pretty sure I saw you ask that question. You and Jay got me back into ice fishing. That is awesome. That's what the whole thing is getting people to do that stuff. So good for you. Good for you. Clayton, come fish Clearwater on Sunday. Let's go. Ooh, Clearwater. Big Lakers. What depth to target rainbow trout? Shallower than deeper for sure. Like I like chasing rainbows up shallow, like 3 to 5 feet of water, something that's close to the edges where they're going to be cruising all day. Trout, well, just cruise and cruise and cruise until they find food. Sorry, I'm not drinking water tonight. That's okay. Best weather for winter walleye in your experience? Fronts. Uh, Definitely before a front, like before some kind of storm is coming in, can be lights out. And moon phase, I don't really know if there's such a thing for sure, honestly. It changes from time to time. Really does. Hey Clayton, I sent you a message on Instagram on a lake I've just been having troubles with for eyes. Just wondering what tips you have for deep structure clear lake walleyes. Um Clear lake, not so much where to find them. I'll try to help you how to find them. Downsize your fluorocarbon line a little bit and downsize your hooks as well. Be very careful about your presentation that you're offering. Maybe use a longer fluorocarbon leader, something like that. Clear lakes though, it's so hard to give you a spot on a lake without ever fishing it or spending time on it. But just drill a pile of holes, find the bait, find the fish. Clayton, got a good lake close to us for some rainbows. Let's go. Ooh, I like good rainbows. Where would that be? Where would that be? I saw another question here too. I wanted to answer because I actually just kept a lake trout on this trip about bleeding your fish out. 100% bleed your fish out. Your meat will taste better. I usually with the lake trout and most of the fish too as all. Walleyes, I'll snap their necks and bleed them out like that. Lake trout, I actually cut their heart out. It's like right in their throat. You just cut there, pull their heart out. I know people are gonna go, yeah, but that's a really good way to bleed them out fast. How often do you fish Eagle Lake? I've never fished Eagle Lake. How do you catch perch with a rod and a hook? No, how do you catch perch? Again, small, downsize a lot, I think, for the most part. And then I think perch, I always preach about my videos about pounding the bottom, pounding the bottom. Perch, I think a lot of times if you kind of like work them up, 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 that's probably a good way to catch your perch for the most part. Love your trout videos. They sparked my interest and found out I have a few good lakes around me. Now I need to try and catch my first laker. Well, I hope you catch your first laker out there. I really do. What's your favorite depth for panfish? Joe, I don't fish a lot of panfish, so I can't give you a fair answer. So I can't help you on that one. I apologize. Have a good night, Clayton. Good luck for the rest of your trip. Talk to you soon. Take care, Blake. On that note, too, it's already an hour. Like, holy cow. I need to get back to editing. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. We'll do this again. We're gonna do another one this coming up week at some point as well. Just a quick 1 hour hangout, do some chatting, talk some fishing. Good luck to everybody that is going out in the next couple days. Be safe out there. I know the big winds rocked up a lot of different ices on different situations or different lakes. Lake Winnipeg, Crooked Lake, which is a lake near my hometown. So be careful, everybody. Okay. Cheers to you all. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. This hour went crazy fast. Take care, everybody. Bye.